Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Pillai Center Astroved's Power Time practice here on the leap year. Leap year is February 29th, 2020. My name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. And I am here live streaming from Chennai, India. I'm very happy to be here in the motherland where all these Vedic rituals and the meditations are so deep, are occurring without too much effort. So God bless everyone from here to all of you, wishing all of you who are new to the program a warm welcome as well. And so what do we do here at Pillai Center in Astroved is that we share about what's going on with Dr. Pillai's latest and greatest teachings. And most of us have stumbled across his teachings either on the internet or through word of mouth. We were seeking something to soothe our souls, to help us to change our destiny, to help us to understand that our karma, or that which we think and that which we've inherited from previous lifetimes, perhaps in this lifetime we've messed up as well. What goes around comes around. And when it comes around, it's like scary sometimes. Sometimes it's super fabulous. Other times it's causing delays, obstacles, long-term chronic problems or issues relating to finances, relating to family, relationships, maybe our spiritual path, our jobs, our business, our children. It can be all the main areas of our lives that get impacted and all at once. So Dr. Pillai here at Pillai Center in Astroved shares that it's important to understand the study of time. So here in Power Time practice, we get to explore the energy behind time. So the hours are going by, the days are going by, the weeks are going by, the months are going by, and the years are going by. And stuff happens from the time we're born till the time we die, and everything in between. So what is it that we are doing, or who are we being, or who are we perceiving ourselves to be at any given moment in time is the study of time. So we're going to study how we are in relation to time. So who impacts time? The planets. The planets rule days. So every day of the week is ruled by a certain planet. Here on Saturday, we have the planet Saturn, who rules Saturday. So Saturn's job for us is to get us on a spiritual path. And how he does it is, generally speaking, he makes us to wait for a long time. He makes us to be impatient. He makes us to delay things. He makes us to feel sad or depressed. He makes us to feel patient. He makes us to feel compassionate. He makes us to feel like we have to dive deep and find out what our true purpose in life is. Now, why is that? Because Saturn delivers karma. So our karma is what we think. And where do our thoughts come from? They come from how we relate to one another in a particular time-space continuum. So how we relate to someone at one moment is going to be a certain way, at another moment, another way. So Saturn makes us to go deep inside to the level of our soul and find out what kinds of karmas, what kinds of ways of thinking, our patterns of behavior that we want to erase. We want to diffuse it because it's no longer serving us. It's causing us misery, in fact. It's causing us to be depressed and sad or upset and grumpy and grouchy. So Saturn is considered a cold planet, and it gives the cold shoulder to us if we don't pay attention to it. So Saturn is also associated with our ancestors. And our ancestors are those who are no more. They're dead. They're gone. They're not in the physical realm anymore. And they are either trapped between heaven and earth, or they are moving into higher planes of existence and they want to bless us from those higher planes. So Saturn and the ancestors have this really fabulous relationship in that the ancestors share our soul genes. So our soul genetics, as Dr. Pillai has coined the term. There's a fabulous course in Pillai Center Academy called Soul Genetics, and please check it out if you haven't already, and get the teachings there, get the initiation from Dr. Pillai to be able to access or get a beautiful connection to your ancestors immediate. It'll be so quick and you will not be able to deny it. You will say, oh my God, this is my direct line to my ancestors. Great Wi-Fi connection. So Pillai Center Academy, Soul Genetics course. Then we are going to be wondering, how is it that Saturn is going to make us to connect with our ancestors? Well, Saturn delivers karmas again. Karmas are related to our thoughts, what we do, what our job is, what our purpose is in life. And most of us have that. We do that for about 8 or 10 or more hours a day. We go to a job. We wonder, is this my true purpose? Am I really doing what I'm meant to do? Oh my God, this is such a struggle and I have to be here for 8 or 10 or 12 more hours. OMG, what am I gonna do? And then life is miserable for that period of time. And that's about a third of our day. Then the next third of our day, we sleep. And then the rest of the third of the day, we're running around doing running errands and doing, fulfilling all our responsibilities, doing things that we don't really have fun doing. So Saturn is considered to be like a taskmaster for some until what? Until we get blessings. And so the ancestors and Saturn are going to give us blessings coming up on this full moon that is going to be happening on, I believe it is going to be March 8th or 9th, depending on where you are in the world. And this full moon coincides with the star, the birth star or nakshatra called Magha or Magham. So Magha means great. It means this great being, this lunar mansion that the moon is passing through. So it's a star constellation, a lunar mansion, where it aligns with the moon, the full moon, in this star called Magha. And during this time period, in the month of Masi, it's a Tamil month that happens right now. And when this star, Magha, this great star, Magha, is the star of the ancestors. Not only the star of the ancestors, the Pitris, they call it in Sanskrit. The Pitris are those who are ruling our genes, although they have passed. And they are pinging us internally. So we think, oh, I'm thinking thoughts. I have this great idea what I want to do. And where is this idea coming from? It's coming from our ancestors, as well as the planets, as well as our karmas. So during this Masi Magha, this alignment of the full moon and Masi, this nakshatra, this lunar mansion, we are going to be in a super strong Wi-Fi divine connection to our ancestors. Why is that? Because they have to give us blessings. So our ancestors are coming to the earth plane, very close to the earth plane, and all of them are coming. So they're all going to be pinging us all at once. And then that energy is going to be felt internally. It's going to be felt in our genes, in our energy field, in our thoughts. And we're going to wonder why we're thinking like Grandpa Jones, or Uncle Fred, or our mother or father have passed, or maybe a sibling or another relative. Anyone who has passed away is part of our gene pool, and it can be any generation. And we might feel about 6 generations of those who have passed before us very strongly. during this time. So it's a period of time where we want to have a heads up. That's what we're here to do, is give you the forecast of what's going on in the celestial realms, in the spiritual realms, where we will know how to transmute some karma, get rid of some karma that is no longer serving us, and then create a new destiny. Now, we've been on a spiritual path. Some of us are from different paths, and we've come across Dr. Pillai's teachings, and we've found that, yay, really great spiritual tools, easy to use, and can feel the shifts in the thinking and in how the life is rolling out. And then the karma changes. So when the karma changes, the destiny changes. And Katya is so gracious here. She's posted the Soul Genetics Pillai Center Academy course on the Zoom chat. So check it out. And why you want to do that ahead of time, and if you can't do it ahead of time, start diving into those teachings, at least do it on Masi Maga, is because the ancestors who are sitting on thrones, they are in higher realms, or perhaps when they were here on the earth plane, they held high positions in life. They held positions of rulers, such as kings or queens, or maybe not in this day and age. They were instead big business people. They were very successful, maybe in politics, or in, they held positions in religion or other cultural events or communities. They were leaders in the community. They were maybe the leaders in their families where people went to get advice. Maybe they held high positions in whatever job that they did. So we have ancestors somewhere who have passed, and they are coming, those ones in particular are coming to the earth plane to come and bless us. Why do we need the blessings of the ancestors? Because as we mentioned, everybody is on a spiritual path. We're here to find out what it is that we need to do to change our destiny. So this is a period of time where we can get the blessings from the ancestors, which is what we need. We can om till the cows come home. We can do meditations. We can chant mantras. We can try to get blessings from people who are here on the earth plane, and we can try to get the blessings of our spiritual master, who will always give us the blessings. However, if we don't have the blessings from our ancestors, it's going to be put on hold. It's not that you're, all the things that you've been doing up until this point aren't going to, you're not going to reap the benefits. It's just that it's like the return on your investment is paused. So we need to tune into Masi Maga so that we can feel the connection to these ancestral beings, and not only our biological ancestors, our soul's ancestors. So spiritual masters are teachers who have gone before us, and they are in spiritual realms. They are in the ancestral realms where they're waiting for us to give them what it is that they need. So what is it that our ancestors need from us? Well, they need us to pray for them. And they need us to maybe offer them something like we would need here on the earth plane. So we need food, clothing, shelter, medicine. We need money to buy groceries. We need a roof over our head, so we've got to pay rent or mortgage. We've got to have whatever it is that we need. And so the ancestors also require that from us. They need that support coming from us. And so what we give them, and it's across the cultures, across the traditions, across the religions, it's some sort of soul food offering. So in the Indian tradition, in the Vedic tradition, we give them what is called Tarpanam. And this is, I'm going to just move this a bit. So this is what the Tarpanam looks like. It is the black seeds are black sesame seeds, and then the white powder is white rice powder. You can also use white rice grains. You can, if you don't have black sesame seeds, you can use beige sesame seeds, and then a coin. And so it can be any currency. This happens to be a Canadian coin because, well, that was the one that I had handy. So that you put this coin in your right hand, and then you put a little bit of this powder and the sesame seeds, and then you can take some water and pour a little bit of water on it. And then you can ask the ancestors, you can say, please come and take this offering with sincerity and with heartfelt intention that they're going to come and take this offering, and then they are going to be able to be free. They're going to go to higher realms, and they're going to be able to be free to bless everybody with peace, prosperity, enlightenment, and whatever it is that you need help with immediately. So it's our appeal to them. And they love this. And then you can just put, you can rinse the rest of it in under the tap water, under the shower, or you can rinse it with some spring water that you haven't drank from, a bottle of water. So that's something that you can do. We've done so many YouTube videos. Dr. Pillai has also done it. Pillai Center teachers have done the YouTube video demonstrations. I've done so many. You can just check out how to do that. And then you're going to do it between sunrise and sunset. So that's the food for the ancestors that you want to give them. And then you can continue to do that on a daily basis, because like you need money, food, clothing, shelter on a daily basis. You need to sustain your well-being and your living. So that's what you can do at home. You can also chant the mantra Om Namashivaya, like we did last week for 12-hour vigil during the great night of Shiva, Mahashivaratri. And thanks everyone for participating in that. It was so much fun. And why we chant Namashivaya or Om Namashivaya is we're saying to Lord Shiva, who will give the blessings to remove difficult karmas from us that we inherited from our ancestors. And then another mantra we can chant is Om Namo Narayanaya. And that is the mantra for Vishnu. And I think recently we had a Vishnu Pankti. So Vishnu is the one who fulfills our wishes. He's the money god, as Dr. Pillai shares. He's the one who is in control of the ancestral realm. He's the one who says, okay, come on into heaven. So we can say that mantra as well, or chant that mantra, or meditate on it. So Om Namashivaya and Om Namo Narayanaya. And then you just say that for that particular day during the full moon. And you will get tremendous blessings from your ancestors, because they're waiting there with those divine beings. And then those divine beings are saying, well, your descendants are chanting those mantras, so come on in. That's the password. So we need the keys to unlock the secrets to help our ancestors to get into the door, the gates of heaven, in their ancestral realm, just like we would need to know how to get home and then the key to get inside of our place so that we're safe and sound. So when the ancestors do get into the Pitraloka, or the place where the ancestors love being, then they can ascend. They can no longer be attached to the earth plane, wanting to come here and disturb. So when we look at our lives and we look at our families' lives, like our kids or our brothers and sisters, our aunts and uncles, we'll see patterns that are disturbing or patterns that are fabulous. So things like that will get our attention are chronic long-term financial problems, and it's inherited. Problems that are relating to health issues like cancer, or familial health issues, diabetes or arthritis, gets passed through the genes. It can be particular nasty behaviors or behaviors associated with abuse, such as through addictions, substance abuse. either through mental abuse or mental suffering, or maybe even mental illness, schizophrenia, depression. Why is it that we're high one day and then the next day we are just feeling so low? It's the ancestors inside of us, though, that memory inside the genes that makes us to think that's us. That's what we've inherited, and that's what's paying us. That's the thousands and thousands and billions of genes in our bodies are impacting the way we think, the way we feel, the way we don't even know that we're thinking it, but there's this urge inside of us to just feel sad for no reason, or to feel totally happy for no reason, or to feel very successful and have a lot of willpower and a lot of guts, a lot of glory, and you want to go out there and conquer everything. So our ancestors share our genes, they're paying us, and they need us to either dissolve away those patterns that are very destructive, and they're harming our family members, they're harming us. And here we are on the path with Dr. Pillai, and whatever we do individually, it doesn't matter if our family members, none of them are on the spiritual path. Whatever we do, it's impacting them because we share their genes. Even though they're not dead, we have some percentage that we share. So we're impacting them. And then collectively, energetically or spiritually, we've chosen this gene pool to come and land in this lifetime. So whatever we do, it's going to be like a pebble in the pond. You're just going to just throw the pebble in, that spiritual pebble in the pond, and it's going to ripple across and it's going to radiate out. So those energies will be impacting you. If you do Tarpanam, you will just pray for your ancestors. You won't say anyone's name specifically, although some teachers will say, yes, you can. I work with Hanuman Das, who is in advisory services, and he is the specialist for Tarpanam. And he recommends just be praying for your ancestors in general, because you don't want to pull them to the earth plane. And your heartstrings always get pulled when you think of them, or there's total aversion, and even that's an energy that will pull them. So we just want to bless them. We want to give them what they need, high five, and off you go. And here I am, off I go. So when we detach from that energy, not that you're kicking them out of your memory, you're just not going to be triggered by that attachment to them. Then they can go to high realms. Some even can go to the status of a god or a demigod, meaning that they get so high in heavenly realms that they are just miracle makers in your life, and they will bless you and your family, especially the ones who are struggling the most. And that's what we do. We want to be able to do what we can to pray for those who need it the most. So Masi Magha is this perfect timing to honor our ancestors and gain royalty consciousness. So what does that mean? It means that you have high self-esteem. If you feel like you're so qualified to do certain things in your life, more so than anyone else, especially as it pertains to work or as it pertains to your family. But people don't see you as that. There's some kind of dark cloud, or there's some kind of disconnect that's happening, and then your self-esteem goes down. And you don't even know why, because here you are, you're super educated, or you're super skilled, or you're super nice, and you're loving and caring, and you just want the best for everyone. But people don't see that in you, or they just misunderstand it and they miscommunicate. And then there's bickering and fighting and so on, because what they're seeing, not what their physical eyes, but what they're experiencing is this kind of like this cloud of energy from ancestors who are disturbed, and they are disturbing you, and they're creating congested negative energy, which you cannot see, but you could probably measure. However, we don't want to get into that, but you will know, because there will be like this big question mark. Why am I not getting promoted? Why do people not see the good qualities in me? Why do I say things and they get taken the wrong way? Why am I feeling sad when I should be so happy? Look at everything around me. So all these why, who, what, where, when, how questions keep coming up over and over and over again. And then during this time, because the moon rules our mind, it impacts the way we think, it impacts our desires, it impacts how we feel, it impacts how we nurture ourselves. So this full moon, this fullness of being is going to be aligning with this Magha star. And this Magha star, as Dr. Pillai shares, it magnifies royalty consciousness, abundance, and ancestral blessings. It's going to be happening March 7th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Pacific time, or March 8th at 7:30 a.m. India Standard Time. So that's the start of it. The services that are going to be performed by Pillai Center and Astrovet on our behalf if we choose to participate in that. So Magha Star, as Dr. Pillai says, it has great potential both in material and spiritual realms. Masi Magha is a great time to receive the blessings of enlightened souls. So why do we want to go to enlightened souls for blessings? Because when we get blessings from enlightened souls, they want us to have an easy life. When we have more light, we can see more. When we can see more, we have more knowledge. We can see everything that's going on. And then we have more knowledge, so things can happen faster. If we're groping in the dark, or we're ignorant, or we're just like stunned bananas, we will be just sitting there going, we'll be stuck. We won't move. We won't know what to do. We'll be scared. We'll be angry, we'll be upset, we'll be frustrated, and then we'll be more and more of that. So the enlightened souls are going to be connecting with our soul genetics, the genes that we have connected to them in some lifetime, in some ancestral realm, or some period of time where they're giving us blessings, and we just, maybe we disrespected them, or we just made mistakes with them. And now if we feed them on this day, if we honor them on this day by participating in these higher Vedic specialist type of rituals or services, then we can diffuse that karma. We can diffuse all that negative congested energy. So it's going to be kind of like a windshield wiper effect. It's going to be washing away all that dirt. So we can see clearly and connect with them and get the blessings. And then our own ancestors who were very successful, again, they sat on thrones, or they held high positions. They had high self-esteem. It was natural. They weren't afraid of anything. And so therefore they could do everything. They were popular. They were loved. They were adored. So we all have that. We've just not known about it, or we've known about it perhaps. However, those blessings are getting blocked. So investing our time and our money and our energy in our spiritual practices has not yet been able to give us that sense of high self-esteem. And not only a sense or perception of high self-esteem, it's how people respond to us, and then the favors that we get. And then that's where miracle consciousness comes in, because we're ready, we're aligned. Hey, I'm ready for the blessings. Here's what you need. And it's a reciprocal relationship. So just like karma, it comes around and goes around, just like how it is in the ancestral realms. As it is above, so it is here. Now, some ancestors might be in hellish realms, and then we free them up with these services, or with these this Vedic technology that will help them to come out of those hellish realms. OMG, they're so elated. They just want to bless everybody everywhere because they've been burning up. So they're free. And then they're so happy to have been out of the dungeon and back into the throne where they should be, in that royal seat. So Magha is the royal throne. We're going to have the ancestors come and sit on it again. And then they will help us to feel connected to that high self-esteem, that high ability to be in the leaders in our life. Now, does it mean that you're going to have a big business or you're going to hold high positions in life? Perhaps it might. However, it might be that you just feel really good about your life. You're very happy about it. You're satisfied. And why are you satisfied? Because everyone else in your life is happy, healthy, joyous, free of pain and suffering. And is it possible? Absolutely. So many of us who have been studying with Dr. Pillai over decades, we have seen that happen in our lives, seen the things in my life. What I can share about with you directly is my ancestors were people who were very successful in business. However, the business that they did was in creating havoc. And it was a happy havoc. However, they ran hotels on the one side of the family. So on my mother's side of the family, they had hotels. And so we all know what happens in those bars and the hotels. There's a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, and then a lot of alcoholism. So our lineage, and especially this generation, and maybe the generation above, my parents' generation, my generation, and now the kids' generation, all the nieces and nephews, have been impacted by that curse. So this is what happens, is that we inherit the curse. Even though we're not drinking, we're not partying, we're not running the hotel, that curse follows us. And that is something that needs to be cleaned up. So being a part of this Tarpanam service every year, and then all the rest of the Tarpanam new moons that are very powerful, like Time Amavasya and Adi Amavasya, and then Mahalaya, the 15th moons or fortnight of the ancestors every year. That has been wiping out that karma, erasing the karma. So thank goodness, because it's turned around so many of the lives of my siblings, my cousins, my own life. And we have a big family. So there are a lot of transformative experiences throughout my lineage and this generation. And now the kids, all the kids, they are doing so well, and they're not inheriting those curses coming from the ancestors. So we get to live the business part of it, holding positions in life, being popular, being part of the community where everyone's creating these beautiful relationships with one another, helping out one another, being of service. All my family members are selfless servers. They just do things to uplift the communities. And perhaps that's the ancestors pinging us, telling us, hey, do something good because we did something so not good. So that's what it is. And I can share that. And so many people have had testimonials that they've written in about how they've been feeding the ancestors and participating in these services that are offered through Pillai Center Ashtraved over the years. And they have been seeing the changes that have been going on in the family. So diseases disappearing, problems with money, financial issues, bad business going up and down, or, bad ethics. It gets diffused away. So things like bickering and fighting in relationships for no reason, like pass the butter. Why did you say it that way? That doesn't go on anymore. Grudges don't get held. We're laughing at silliness as we're going along. So you'll get a fresh, clean slate. And we can only share what we've experienced. You've got to try it yourself. And if you invest in this and you start to see the shifts, it's a no kidding, a no-brainer. You'll want to do this for the rest of your life, perhaps, or at least for quite a while, until all of the descendants of your ancestors that are here on the earth plane, their lives get cleaned up. Because as Dr. Pillai shares, if there's one thing only one thing that he recommends to change your destiny and change the destiny of those who are in your life, in your gene pool, who you decided to come into the earth plane and be a part of their lives. The only thing, he says, is honor the ancestors, do the Tarpanam, participate in these services, in the year-long Tarpanam, Royal Tarpanam service, which includes these very powerful new moons. Now, Masi Maga is not included in it, so that's why we're making sure that you know about it and make sure that you participate on some level. And not everyone will be able to pay for the service, and that's why we're sharing with you. You can at least chant the mantras and then feed them the Tarpanam offering all throughout that whole day, and pray wholeheartedly. And you know what will happen? The first thing that will happen is that you'll get a money miracle. You'll get a breakthrough, or you'll get a promotion, or you'll get an inheritance. And even if you don't have anything to inherit, you might get an inheritance through someone who was a friend of the family, or a friend of you, or a distant connection. And then all of a sudden they're saying, oh yeah, great grandmother had this house for you to get, and none of the other kids want it, so you're next in line. So it's just like, wow, okay. So things will come out of nowhere, things that you would never ever think you would inherit, and then all of a sudden it comes to you. And then that makes you to realize, oh, okay, this is for real. Because we won't pay attention to the other stuff. Oh, it could just be just an offhand healing of something. It could be, though, that you have a miraculous healing where maybe someone, many people died of cancer. There's a lot of cancer in my family. There's a lot of arthritis in my family that is getting passed through the generations, but it's getting cleaned up in this one now that the Tarpanam has been done. And I just want to share what my brothers and sisters are saying to me. I don't know what you're doing, but you must be praying for me because my life is good. If they only knew. So you don't even have to share that with anyone. It's like having the best kept secret because it's going to make you to be happy. If we're all on the spiritual path, that's all we want to do is bring joy and happiness to others, especially our family members. We want to make sure that they're well taken care of and that they're going to experience with their kids that they will have this freedom from the karmas, freedom from the sins of the forefathers. That's not just a saying, it's an actual thing. So many of us will be scratching our heads year after year, trying to figure out what it is that we can do to turn our lives in a direction that's going to be more favorable, more prosperous, happier, quit the bickering and fighting and, oh my God, all that stuff that has gone on, all the memories or the conversations that come up during family gatherings. Oh, remember when so-and-so did this, all the grudges. Oh, geez, stop already. So that's something that you can look forward to, and definitely you will feel almost immediately. And then if there's someone who's really struggling in your life with some sort of substance abuse or mental illness, or even yourself, if you have high anxiety, that can come down a lot. So once you start to feel those and see those situations turn around for the better in moving forward, there's more lightness of being, and there's not just a little pinhole light at the end of the tunnel someday. It's like happening right now. It's like the door opens up, this bright, beautiful place to go to opens up. So that's miracle consciousness, is that you're prepared for those kinds of supernatural. It's beyond the nature of how it is, because naturally it's just miserable. That's your nature, to experience life as it is and as you've inherited it. So Masi Maga says, no way. You gotta walk through that door, be that royalty consciousness, have high self-esteem, have all the money that you need, have all the joy that you need, have all the blessings that you need. So again, this star is the brightest star in the Leo constellation. So Leo is the sign that is ruled by the sun, and the sun represents our soul. So Magha star is this star that will activate our soul, especially our soul genes. So soul genetics, again, it's not something, a course you just take for interest's sake. It's going to impact your genes. It's going to start to clean them out, because it's an initiation from Dr. Pillai, and he's initiating you into your connections, like he's giving you the password for the Wi-Fi. So you have the password, you know how to get in, you know how to use it, and then boom, it's done. The connection is really super smooth. And then you can commune with your ancestors and get the blessings with the meditations that are being given and all the other wonderful teachings there that you will have at your fingertips. And then that will help to cleanse the karma. So it's gonna magnify your prosperity, royalty consciousness. You'll have the quality of a king or a queen. And then you'll get this, the ancestors will be able to get to where they need to get. They won't be stuck and they won't be bothering you. Because when anyone is stuck in life, including ourselves, we're frustrated, we're upset, we're yelling, we're squeaky wheels, we need the oil. So our ancestors need our help to get the Tarpanam. So the scriptural significance of Masi Magham is that according to the sacred texts in the Indian culture tradition, Lord Shiva, when he wanted to go to Brahma, the Brahma is the creator God. So he said, okay, the world needs to be created. Again, it's been created and destroyed many times. So when that time period comes that it has to be created again, he goes to Brahma, the creator, and he says, okay, we got to do this. And then Brahma says, okay, I want you to go to this place called Kumbakonam, and it's in South India, Tamil Nadu. And it is a power spot where Kumbha means pot. And so Kumbakonam is, there's a main temple there, Kumbeshwara temple, where this form of Lord Shiva is the one who carries the seeds of humanity in this pot. And so it's a water pot and it's got the seeds. So the genes of humanity, the soul genetics of humanity start there. So that's the scriptural significance that it happened on Masi Magha, when the star Magha, which is the star for the ancestors, the royalty consciousness, said, okay, we're all regal and the world has to start over, then let's get to it. And so they start with this royal high self-esteem and bring the best human beings into life. And then we all, as little souls up there in heaven, we say, hey, I want to be a part of that life. So at this place, you can get your sins dissolved. So the karma that you've inherited or the curses, as I mentioned earlier, will be diffused when you participate in these services that are offered through Pillai Center or Astrovet. And Katja or someone has also posted the link for those services, or if you haven't already, please do that. And why we want to alert everyone to these services is because we don't have to jump on a plane and we don't have to go there. Even though I'm in India, I can't go to all those power spots all at once because there's hundreds of miles away. And I have work to do, so I will be debilitated. I will be not able to do it. So instead, there will be people there who are going to do it for me. So proxy services are what it's all about. And why don't I physically have to be there? Am I being lazy? No, it's because at the level of the soul, that's all we need to acknowledge. So this physical being called Sucharita doesn't have to be there. I can be there in spirit and soul. And then there's going to be a copper plate with my birth chart inscribed on it. And then it's going to be dipped in this holy tank in Kumbakonam, this special tank where thousands and hundreds of thousands of people gather. You can't even get close to it anyway. So even if I drove down there for 7 hours or whatever it is, it's 7 to 10 hours depending on the traffic. And even if I went down there, it would be very difficult to get close to that tank. So it's a power spot where many people go and they just dip or they get sprinkled with that water, or some people put a bottle of water, an empty bottle of water, some sort of flask into that tank, and then they take that water with them, and then they sprinkle it on themselves thereafter. And why is that tank so special? Because the ancestors come there. All the ancestors who are here to bless us from our gene pool, and also very highly evolved or highly enlightened beings come. And the gods come and the goddesses come. So all these spiritual beings are have immediate access to this particular power spot. So the priests who will be doing it on our behalf, who will be offering the Tarpanam, who will be bathing our surrogate, meaning that copper plate that has our birth chart inscribed in it, and also our name and our birth star, our nakshatra, that is the key that unlocks the secrets of our soul. So we don't have to be there. It's like we're just tuning in. We have a good Wi-Fi connection through that. And copper is a great conductor of energy, especially spiritual energy. Not only electricity here on the earth plane, but bioelectricity. The bioelectricity, the energy inside of us that lights up our genes and says, hey, you get blessings. And everyone in your gene pool who is here on the earth plane, the descendants, are going to get blessings too. This energy is going to radiate out into their souls, into their soul genes. So this power spot in particular, this temple and then this tank, there are going to be thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people being there. And in that energy, can you imagine the crowd, the energy of everyone praying for all ancestors to be at peace, to bless everyone here on the earth plane with prosperity, enlightenment, joy, happiness, good health, well-being. OMG. And that's what it is to be on a spiritual path, is to understand that this is spiritual technology, to understand this is a power time we don't want to miss. We want to make sure that we remember, we honor our ancestors if we haven't done it up until this point. And then collectively, that will spill over, regardless if you are biologically related to them or not. It's ancestors of all, and all divine beings will be coming into the earth plane and enlightening everyone's soul's journey, and then everyone who wants only the best for humanity. God knows we need it. So what happens then when we also participate in these Masi Magham ceremonies through Apply Center Ashravet is that there will be a Kumbeshwara Homa. Homa means a fire lab, and fire purifies. So fire is the sacred technology that purifies the soul. It connects us to the souls of our ancestors, because fire goes up. If you put fire on its side, the flame will still go up. So that energetically is going to call on Kumbeshwara, the form of Shiva. Again, he's the supreme archetype who helped Brahma create the entire universe, as well as the earth plane here, through this sacred pot. The Kumbha is also the sacred pot. And so this fire lab that gets performed on Masi Magha, it will invoke the blessings of Shiva. And then Shiva, what are his sounds? Namashivaya. So what are the sounds representing? The chakra system. So the earth element represents Na, the water element, Ma, the the fire element is Shi, and then Va is the air element, and then the space, or the Akashic records, where every thought that was ever thought out would be in the Akashic records, and we want to erase the thoughts that aren't serving us. So that is the sound Ya. So Namashivaya are the sounds that unlock the secrets, not only to everything that is represented in the earth plane, including us, but on other planes as well, in subtler forms. So when we rock our chakras, so Na is at the base of the spine or the legs, then Ma is in the navel chakra, Shi is in the heart, Va is in the throat and the nose, the nostrils, the mouth, and then Ya is in the eyes and in the brain, midbrain. When we activate that runway, when we activate the chakra system, then it starts to light up. And then we become this searchlight for the celestial light to commune with. So we may not see it with our naked eyes, but we will feel it. And what will happen is those in the celestial realms, the ancestors, the spiritual beings who want, those enlightened beings who want to bless us, they will see that searchlight going up. It's a celestial light. So the fire that gets, the fire lab that gets performed on our behalf, it will start to fire us up. And we all know, those who have participated in these, when we watch it virtually, because they will also record it and it will be live streamed, you will feel it. You will feel this Kundalini energy burning inside of you, because again, it's all spiritual, it's all surrogate technology for your soul. Sure, you can go and sit next to the fire and really get into it. However, you don't have to. You don't have to jump on a plane. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just be at home tuning in. You can either be watching it virtually. You could watch the recording if you're at work, or if you've got other responsibilities or other appointments that you've already scheduled. And then when you watch it or you participate, you just feel it. Oh my. And you will feel the burn, and you will know that your soul has been purified. Not only your soul, your ancestors' souls, because that's what the main focus is. So there's also Archana, which means offering of different substances, like some food and some water, and then the ghee lamp or some other lights, maybe some camphor, some incense. The smash a coconut, offer flowers. So they will do that on your behalf as well. And then there's an Archana, especially for Vishnu, at this very powerful spot called Sarangapani. And that's where Varaha is, Vishnu as the boar. He goes and he comes as a boar avatar. And he represents this energy, this archetypal energy that will root out all those problems that we inherited from our ancestors. So we'll go into the trillions of cells of our being, all our genes, and then just root it out with that snout and those tusks and those teeth, and just go in and dig deep within us, spiritually speaking, as well as somewhat physical. You'll feel this physical experience of things being rooted out, this poison being released from you, all long-term karmic problems. And then he is also this avatar on Masi Magham. He came and he saved the earth plane from the underworld. So all those ghouls and goblins coming and haunting us. Because we have, a lot of people will say, I can't sleep, I can't do anything, I feel like I'm haunted or I'm cursed somehow, that he will just root that out. So that may still go on. Historically speaking, it has gone on, but it won't be inherited by you. You will disinherit it. You will disconnect from it. And it won't be, you don't have to think about it. It will just get done. You'll be cut from it. Many people try to do different techniques to cut the ties, and they can't seem to do it. This will do it. So also this Archana or Puja will be done at a power spot, Naga power spot. Naga means snake, or Ketu is the south node of the moon in Vedic astrology. And what that means is it represents those ancestors who are very spiritual, and also ancestors who have gone to the other side of spirituality, where they've maybe been partying too much. So Ketu, it represents the snake without a head. And that's why it just is like this body wiggling around, going here, going there, and it's lost its head. It doesn't know where it's going. So if it's very spiritual, that's a good thing to do, because you want to be out of the human mind and get filled up with divinity. However, if it's in the negative, then it can cause a lot of bickering and fighting, or a lot of the substance abuse issues, or problems with money, problems with relationship, problems with health. So it will be, when it's done on this star day, Magha star, it can negate bad effects and illnesses, bestow you with good health, wealth, and all around prosperity. So again, power times are all about tuning in and finding out how to get blessings, how to bless the ancestors in this case with Magha, Masi Magha, and then how to get them, how to align with it. So blessings can be there, but we just don't know how to connect with it. So again, this immersion of the copper sheet engraved with the birth chart is going to be going to the Kumbhakonam sacred tank. And it helps you to receive the blessings of enlightened souls because they're going to read your birth chart. That's like the blueprint of who you are. Blueprint, again, is soul genetics. Our DNA is our blueprint of who we are and how we're navigating. So to wash away the sins, what is a sin? It's a mistake. We missed the mark, or they missed the mark, and we're suffering for it, from the sins of the forefathers, of the foremothers. So we want to get relief from this. Another Ketu Homa will be done at the Astraved Remedy Center, and it will help us to catch the ancestors who are, capture the ancestors who are troubled and they're going in the wrong direction. We'll turn them around and put them in the right direction. And then there will be a Satya Narayana puja. Satya Narayana is, Satya means truth, and Narayana is Vishnu, a name of Vishnu. So you will feel the truth of this. It's not just blah, blah. It's not just hope it all works out, praying and wishing well, and then you're just going deep, going nowhere. So Satya Narayana puja is something that will be done to honor Lord Vishnu, who will bring your ancestors to their heavenly realm, that position in life. So those are some of the things that we wanted to share with everyone here during this power time practice, so that you have a heads up for this full moon that's coming up next week. And we want to get the best blessings for ourselves, for our soul, our gene soul, so the soul genetics, the genes that are shared by all our descendants, and also those who have gone before us. So they are going to be coming to the earth plane in droves, and we're going to just feel their presence. Some people might feel disturbed, some might feel like pain, pinging us, or prickly, or there's just, our skin crawls, or we get goosebumps. So that is for real. You will feel that. And then so that will trigger us, or it will be the sign, hey, make sure that we're honoring our ancestors. So they're going to be coming from this point on, because it's Saturday and the karma gets delivered through Lord Saturn, and the karma of our ancestors will start to be delivered now. So it's like a storm is coming. And it can be, we got to batten down the hatches. We've got to be prepared. We've got to look at what it is that we need to do. And then once we know what to do, then we will just do it as best as we can, whether that's through our own self-study, or, jumping into soul genetics, or doing our at-home remedies, offering the Tarpanam, chanting mantras, as we mentioned, and then can be through the paid services, which I love doing, because what will happen is we'll have the best set intentions, and then life gets in the way. And then that whole day is, we're pushed and we're pulled with everything that could ever happen to disrupt us. And then we're just like, oh man, I can't even do or honor the ancestors. So that's what happens, is we get so distracted. And then having, even if you participate in the Pillai Center Academy Soul Genetics course, you'll have it forever after. So there's recordings there. There's, teachers who are helping you out in the recordings. I'm one of them. And there's also some coaching that you can do that is, you can call me up, or you can email me, and then we'll have a call together, and I'll share about how you can come out of your challenges that you've inherited, and that you may not know which service to do, or what program to get into, and so I can give you clarity around that. So that's what I wanted to do for everyone here, is give everyone a heads up. And then spiritually speaking, we're going to have a meditation now, because that's what we always come for at Power Time Practice. It's an opportunity to commune with one another and to get the blessings of Dr. Pillai, whose energy is readily available. And I'm in his guest house in Chennai, so he's right above this room. And so his energy is very palpable. And he loves it when we come together and we share with everyone from around the world. So we're energetically, we're holding hands, and we are creating a network of like-minded people who only want the best for themselves and for the earth plane, especially during these turbulent times. If we start to honor our ancestors, what we'll find is we're connecting to every ancestor that ever was. And that's how collectively we can create this network of people, and all the ancestors will catch them, will catch their souls and all the blessings. And then that energy will radiate out and will stay here on the earth plane. All the blessings will stay. The ancestors will go, but all their blessings will capture it. And then with that, we can raise the vibration. It doesn't take too many on the earth plane to do it, especially with the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai, who's a Satguru. He only wants the blessings to come to change our destiny. That's why he gives us these simple practices or ways to alleviate the suffering that we've inherited from our ancestors and the suffering that continues on to be transmitted through the generations. We gotta wipe it out. So this is one way we can do it, and we're going to get into a meditation now where you can experience some connection to your ancestors. So with that, close your eyes and put your attention internally. I'm going to pop up a shared screen so that you're not distracted at all. And as you're going inside, you can be exploring the chakras. So these are psycho-spiritual centers. So what you tell yourself, how you perceive thoughts that are coming, where are they coming from? Maybe you'll have familiar thoughts of ancestors who have gone before you, and you've inherited their personality quirks, or you've also inherited their fabulousness, that you can't manifest it. And then you're manifesting their quirks. So whatever it is, it might come up for you. You might be in tears. You might have some energy, some catharsis, because we're going to invite the divine to come in to these centers inside of us, these chakras. And then they are going to spin out anything that isn't serving us at this point in time and revealing to us what we're holding on to: grudges, abuse. We can't stop ourselves, but we're doing it to ourselves or doing it to others, or judging ourselves or judging others. So all this needs to go. So we'll call on Ganesha, who will bless us with success and help us to experience freedom from the ties that bind us. So Ganesha is this elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly and he rides a mouse, and his energy is at the base of the spine, and it's associated with the ability to move the Kundalini energy. So then it can diffuse the karma. It can diffuse that which we've inherited. It can release us from the suffering that we've inherited from our ancestors through health issues, through financial problems, through blocks in our progress, in our material pursuits, our job, our career, our business, family, bickering, fighting. So all this, bring it to the surface. Don't deny that it is there. Everyone has their skeletons in the closet. So we have to feel it to say, okay, I'm done. And then once we do that, we just allow for the god Ganesha to move the Kundalini energy, diffuse it, and it'll be like waves going in and out, washing away the sins, washing away the problems. Visualize a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs and into your feet and toes. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Shrim Rim Gleem Glaum Gam Ganapataye Vara Varadha Sarvajaname Vasamanaya Namaha. Om Ge 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 Krom 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 Uchista Ganapataye Haste Pasache Likhe Namaha. Gam 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 Gam. Now focus your attention on a very intense, bright white light that shoots up your spine, makes you to sit tall. The energy of that ray of light is piercing the chakras, activating them to spin out anything that isn't serving you. Starting at the base of the spine, we're going to activate this searchlight that goes through your skull and into the space, looking for blessings from the ancestors and all spiritual beings. Base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Ma. Move up to the middle of the brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine. Connect with the earth element in the legs. Na, 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 na. Move into the navel. Connect with the water element, filling the belly with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Also down the arms and hands. Set them on fire. She. Move into the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or the prana, subtle air. Va, 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 va. Move up to the two eyes, the right and left brain. Connect with the Akash, the ether, space. Ya, 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 ya. Now imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a light form or a form you're familiar with. He sends two intense rays of light into your eyeballs, cleansing the karma in the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Connect with those beams of light at the soul level. Another beam of light comes from his third eye into your third eye, activating the gateway or portal to the higher realms. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now your eyes are lit up, your brain is lit up, the third eye is pulsing. It's sending pulses to your brain, to the rest of your body, the chakras. Imagine a beautiful blue being in your heart. This blue being is Lord Vishnu, who's in charge of the Pitri Loka, the ancestral realm. He wants to give the access to your ancestors who are suffering. And this beautiful blue being radiates his energy in your heart center and outward. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Feel your heart. Feel the ancestors being relieved of their sins and going with Lord Vishnu to the place where they can have everything that they need and then bless you. Receive the blessings in your heart. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Feel the pain of the ancestors who suffered from diseases, debt, litigation, suffering mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, relationship-wise. Feel them all being relieved. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Feel all your genes, your DNA coming alive. In the millions and trillions of cells of your body, from head to toe, like sparkling light. Releasing anything that is inherited and no longer is serving you or this generation or the next. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Now go to your chakras, aligned on the spine, stacked up. We'll call on Lord Shiva to create a very strong, energetic connection to the chakra system, connecting it to the spiritual realms, relieving the suffering on any level between you and your ancestors. Aum Namashivaya. Om Namashivaya. Om Namashivaya. Om Namashivaya. Om Namashivaya. Om Namashivaya. Om Namashivaya. Send these sounds into the space, deep within you, as well as around you and above and below you. Om Namashivaya. 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 Feel the chakras. Feel the light radiating out into the body, deep within your soul, connecting to the soul genes that you share with the ancestors. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Now feel a light beam pouring down from the heavens, a column of light that surrounds you like a tube of light connecting high, 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 high above, surrounding you, cleansing you. It is the most merciful and compassionate and forgiving light, the grace light, the light of omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. Bathe in it. Feel it entering your skin, the pores of your skin, from head to toe, going into the DNA, cleansing the DNA, freeing your attachment to the ancestors so they can be relieved and bless you as they evolve higher and higher in this energy of grace, superconsciousness, God. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Tani Param Karunai. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Tani Param Karunai. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Tani Param Karunai. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Harit Param Jyoti. Shanti, 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 Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world, peace to the ancestral realms, peace to the realms where all spiritual enlightened beings can bless us and free us from the sins of the forefathers, the foremothers, the ancestors. May they all be at peace. May they all prosper in the realms that they are evolving to, and then bless everyone with happiness, joy, prosperity, enlightenment here on the earth plane. And relax, let go. Take your time to come back. For those of you who need to go, thank you so much for joining this special Power Time practice where we found out how important it is to honor the ancestors, to get the blessings, no matter how spiritual we think we are. That won't get activated until we get the blessings. So as Dr. Pillai shares, honor your ancestors, do the Tarpanam, participate in services, participate in understanding of the soul genes that you inherited. And then you will see your life unfold in a beautiful, beautiful way, where the suffering will be relieved from not only your life, but the lives of those you love. And then you can have a whole new life moving forward. So God bless you all. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time. Happy Masi Magham. And then those people who are going to stay, we're going to have some time where we can share our experiences, or perhaps you can ask questions, and I'll do my best to answer. So if you're on the phone, you can press *6. If you're on Zoom, then I've just unmuted your mic, or unmuted everyone's mic, so you can go ahead and ask your question. You can raise your hand, or you can post a note on the chat as well. So Fran is saying here, thank you, Sutrita. Your words rings true so clearly. It came on the call fatigued, and now I'm feeling the fresh spark of energy you bring. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Dr. Pillai. Well, it is his grace and blessings. Trust me, it's not mine. But I'm happy to be here and support everyone as well. And yes, I am feeling better. I had dental surgery 2 days ago, and it was amazing. That was a miracle as well. So I was totally freaked out because I inherited dental problems, as did all my siblings and pretty much everyone in this generation from our ancestors. How fabulous is that? So all our lives, we've had challenges, no matter how hygienic we are with our teeth and how we take care of them. It just seems to be dental problems across the board. So with the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai, and also having participated in honoring ancestors, I had super smooth dental surgery, and everything is working out well. No problems, no pain, just a little bit of swelling, but nothing to complain about at all. So that was a blessing from the ancestors, from spiritual beings who want it to be lighter for me. And of course, Dr. Pillai saying, no, she can't suffer. She needs to be doing her service, and here I am. So thank you so much for your kind words there, Fran. And I'm glad you're feeling better. Someone is saying here in private, oh my God, the session today is so powerful. I feel the words coming through my body direct to my soul. Oh, that's nice. The understanding is to the cell level. India energy and Baba's energy just flows through you. I needed to kick of good energy. Thank you so much. And that's what it is. when we are moving on our spiritual path. I had no idea I was coming to India. I had no idea I was going to get dental work done here, but here I am. And so we're doing our spiritual path and we're trying to find a way to change our destiny. So when we change the location, then our destiny changes, our thoughts change, the way we're being changes, our ancestors change. Sorry, I have to just stop this. There we go. So that's just an indicator of watch the time. So when we do change our location, we change the way we perceive things, the way we see things. Our ancestors here, perhaps in India in some lifetime, are blessing me like crazy because here I am. So it's whenever we do anything like that, when we honor the ancestors, then they make us to cough up a hairball like Micheline did. Hi, Micheline, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. And how are you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful meditation. Thank you so much for that.
You're very welcome.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you called upon Narayana and Namashivaya, but do we have to pour anything on the Shiva Lingam or anything like that while you're doing this meditation?
You could. You definitely could if you wanted to.
And can this meditation be practiced any other day apart from this Masi time?
Yes, definitely. These are the two, as Dr. Pillai shared in videos over the years, these are the two main gods or divine beings that we want to pray to. We always want to remember them because they represent the sounds that make up consciousness here on the earth plane and on other planes as well. They are rocking our chakras. So Namashivaya, that's the being. Shiva is the being who gets activated inside of us and then shows us our spiritual path by lighting up our chakras, lighting up our subtle body. Narayana or Vishnu fulfills our wishes. He's the one who wants us to get blessings from our ancestors so that we can sustain our well-being while we're here on the earth plane. He's the preserver.
You know, you've got a coconut there which has got 3 eyes. Does that mean something?
Yeah, all coconuts do. So coconuts have the 3 holes and they represent the 2 eyes and then the 3rd eye.
And what does that represent there? Do you put a light on top of it?
Oh, no, that is flour.
Okay.
Because the coconut represents Ganesha. And Ganesha's energy, when you break a coconut, you smash the karma. So whenever you have a coconut, it represents it becomes a surrogate technology for us to use. Instead of us absorbing negativity into us, it will get absorbed into the coconut because that has a spiritual charge and that has the charge of Ganesha, who busts obstacles or busts really tough karma, such as that is inherited by our ancestors. So instead of my head having a headache and me smashing my head and cracking it open, that would be a bloody mess and I'd be dead. So we want to use the coconut as surrogate technology that represents the hard skull. And then the meat inside is the brain, the water, the juice is like the cerebral spinal fluid that bathes the brain and the spinal cord and nourishes our nervous system. So instead of being all like, anxious and fearful and angry and upset, all that goes into the coconut. And then you take it and you say, Ganesha, this is you. This is the technology for you to remove obstacles. So do your thing. And then you go and smash it. And then in honor of the ancestors, the problems of the ancestors, it will get smashed.
Do you smash the coconut every day after meditation?
Oh, I smash it sometimes many times a day, depending on what energy is coming in.
Oh, I see. And there's one more question, like you have an altar and then you have all these deities, Vishnu, Shiva Lingam, and Varahi and Shimbrasi. And every day is dedicated to one of them. For example, Monday is Shiva and Ganesha, and Tuesday is someone, Wednesday is Vishnu, and Thursday is Jupiter, and Friday is Shrimbrasi, and Saturday is Shani. Now, do we just offer everything? I've seen you offer everything to everybody
Yep.
after your prayer, but then do we only say the main prayer to the deity of the day?
Yeah.
For example, if you take Saturday, today we only say prayers to Saturn, and then we call upon all of them. How does it work? Because it becomes a very long prayer then.
Well, you can focus if you don't have much time. You can just focus, and then you can say, you know, for example, today is Saturn, the overlord is Hanuman. So you're talking to the person who rules the whole day, Saturn, and then the overlord, Hanuman, who does the impossible, he also rules the day. So those two are the main ones. Now, when we're talking about different, our faves, we don't want to diss them either. So maybe we'll call on Shiva or we'll call on Shrimbrazi as well. So it's not that you just only call on the deity of the day and the overlord, or the planetary influence and the overlord deity. You can, you know, pray to whoever you want, depending on your time. But just mainly hit the day, the planet of the day, and then the overlord, and then you should be good to go.
Okay. The other question is, you know, like Shiva is always associated with Parvati, the Shakti, Parashakti, and we don't talk much about her in our meditations or in our power time practice. Is there a special mantra? How do we honor her every day?
Kleem. We've used the mantra.
Oh, I see. I see. So you just say clean, clean, clean.
Yeah, why not, right? It helps us to attract what we want.
And the Hreem, H-R-E-E-M.
Yeah, that's a sound for Parvati as well as Lord Hanuman.
Oh, so if we said clean, Hreem, then it calls all of them, calls both of them.
Yeah, sure.
I see. Okay, thank you so much. I'm
You're
just
very
getting the
welcome.
hang of this.
Of
Yeah,
course, Micheline, I'm glad that you're asking these questions.
yeah, because I'm very close to Parvati. And the other thing is sometimes when you call one of them, it's Saraswati who appears. And then you think, oh, I called someone else and this one has arrived. And
Well,
how
and
do you
that,
deal with that?
I'm glad that you shared that, because that's what happens to a lot of us, is that we'll think, oh, I'm going to call this one. And then the one who really wants to come and show you what it is that you need immediately, then we can honor that. And that's why it makes it so fun to be on the spiritual path, is because we're not thinking logically. You know, we're not using our rational mind, because that's limited. So the being, that energy that really needs to help or support us immediately, will be the one who comes, even though we're thinking, oh, I'm going to pray to so-and-so. So honor them if they come and they say, hey, pray to me first. Then you go, oh, okay, I'll follow you. And then I'll get to Parvati, or I'll get to Shiva, or whoever's next.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very
I have one more. Yeah, I think I'll let somebody's waiting to talk, I think.
all right. Is there
I'll
any?
let them talk. If there is a time, I'll come back. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Micheline.
You're welcome.
So are there any other questions or comments? Sareti is saying, is Tarpanam for our ancestors after the sunset or before the sunset? Good question. From sunrise to sunset, so daylight hours. So the sun is going to be rising. As it's rising, you can start doing Tarpanam. You could do it all day if you wanted until sunset. The reason that we don't do the Tarpanam offering during the nighttime or during the time where it's dark, so just before sunrise or just after sunset, is because that represents a tricky time of the day, where the ancestors are the ones who are afflicted or in problematic places, dark places. We don't want to call them into the earth plane for any reason. So they will get fed during the daylight hours, but they won't be bringing their buddies to come and be disturbing. So, and that can be, you'll feel like you have a headache or you feel like your body aches. So, and not that you should try it out, but if you do, because I have done it too, I was like, oh, I'm just going to try it out. Oh, mistake. So, although with Dr. Pillai, he says there are no hard and fast rules, this is one that you want to honor. You know, you really want to try it out and then just say, okay, I'm going to do it during daylight hours. If you're working and then you get home before sunset, you leave before sunrise and you get home after sunset, the daylight is gone. You can take some with you, like in a small plastic Tupperware container, seal it, and then have a bottle of water that's not been opened. And then you can just do it. I used to do it when I was working in an office. I used to do it before I got out of my car. I would just do it quickly. It takes not even a minute. And then just put it back in the car and off I go. Some people have done it in their work place, and, you know, discreetly. And, you know, if they had a private washroom or whatever, and it was clean and everything, they could just do it there during daylight hours, even if they're not looking out and it's sunlight. So you don't have to see the light. It just has to be between sunrise and sunset. Fran is saying it was a powerful meditation worth repeating. Definitely repeat it. Do it again. Supriya, your hand is up. Supriya. Okay. I don't want to unmute you in case that was something that you didn't want to do. Can we do Tarpanam before our shower? Michelina is asking. It's a good idea to have your shower first. Just do that. Because here's the thing, when you bathe yourself, when you cleanse yourself, you're cleansing the karma. We pick up karma in the night. Where do you think we go at night? Do you think we're just a lump of flesh on the bed? No, our spirit, our soul goes. It goes to ancestral realms. It goes to places that we don't know. So as it comes back, sometimes we feel like, whoa, where did I just go? Or we come back and we've had nightmares, we wake up. So all that energy can be washed away, and then do your Tarpanam offering. Adriana is asking, can I do Tarpanam for one particular person, my dad in case, and then other Tarpanam for the others? Can I say his name? Adriana, not sure when you came into the call, but it's recommended that you don't name anyone. You just, in general, you can just do one offering for all the ancestors, both sides of the family, maternal side of the family, paternal side of the family, 6 generations at least. Or you can do separate, or you can repeat it. You can do the Tarpanam offering 10 times. And why? Because you want to feel it. You want to feel that they took it. And sometimes you'll see the seeds jumping around in your hand, or your hand is shaking and you're like, why is this happening? Or you'll feel this spidey senses, you're tingling or goosebumps, or you feel like pinging or prickly, or pain in your head or somewhere in your body. So you don't want to ask anyone. You don't want to say this is for anyone. You just want to say to the ancestors in the realms, please bless yourselves. Take this offering, bless yourselves to go to the realms that you need to go to get to be where you need to be, to release all that struggle, all that suffering that you had in this lifetime and that we had together. And then you will get the blessings. So, and then Adrian is asking, he really needs it. Well, if he really needs it, then there is a Mahatarpanam. So you can do, you can order that through Ashtravet or Pillai Center. It's a Tarpanam for a specific soul. And it's like a funeral service, pretty much on steroids. Like it just goes really deep. And you will feel he is blessed or she is blessed. So if there's an ancestor, a specific ancestor that you know, in that case, then you can do an individual Tarpanam offering. And that will be done on by proxy on your your behalf. So you can definitely do that. So Supriya, you go ahead.
Hi.
Hi,
Can
how
you
are
hear me?
Yes.
Hi. Thank you so much. Thanks to Charita. Peace and blessings to everybody. I have been so greatly benefited from Dr. Pillai's teachings, and it's been showing up so miraculously in my life. So I'm so grateful for that. Thank you. And also this next question is around the Tarpanam, and just to understand a little bit more about the realms. The other side, you had mentioned the Pitriloka.
Mm-hmm.
My son is 11. He's a very old soul. He says, there's a fourth grader who died from cancer in his school this week, which was very sad. We were talking about the soul and where it goes. And I really couldn't answer him other than, the transition, we pray for the soul. And I was wondering if you could speak on that, because it sounds like there's levels that you're talking about, praying for our ancestors, having them ascend. I think you even mentioned that some ancestors can continue to ascend to a level of God status or something like that. Could you speak more on that, please?
So the question specifically is, where does the soul go?
Yeah, what is the stages of this? It sounds like there's just different levels of soul evolution in the Akashic.
Yeah, so we have different bodies. Let's just start with that. So we have these coverings of the soul that is within us, this spiritual connection to God consciousness. And then that gets filled up. So we have a physical layer, we have a mental layer, an intellectual layer, we have an emotional layer. So there's more physical, so it's more gross level. And then as it gets into the mental and emotional, it's more subtler. It's not part of the physical, although it's associated. So there are these coverings of the soul. Now, when the person dies, when we die, then the covering just is a lump of flesh on the ground, a bag of bones. And then the soul gets released. And then it doesn't know where to go if it hasn't evolved itself. So it tends to just go where it's familiar with the, the emotions or the thoughts that it had. It just is hovering in the space. Kind of like if you've heard about out-of-body experiences and then they come back to the body. So that because it remembers it's right there. It's not ready to go yet down the tunnel. So it will have this struggle. It will go through this struggle as it's relieving itself of these sheaths or these layers of its being. And then the soul will, if it's strong enough, it will be able to get to the realm that it needs to go, to Pitriloka, that's where it hangs out. Just like here on the earth plane, we go flying in the night or wherever we go with our subconscious mind, or our soul goes flying, or our spirit goes flying, and we come back. We know where to land because we're not disconnected. It's actually a very long silver cord, they say. So we're tethered to this body until it's done, until it dies. And then this animation of this body continues on. So the animation of the soul, depending on its evolution while it's here on the earth plane, it will go to realms that it wanted. If it had desires, unfulfilled desires, maybe it was a goody two-shoe in this lifetime. And then it had unfulfilled desires that wanted to be really bad, just bad. So it will go to realms like hellish realms or realms that are mischievous. Every soul knows what it needs to do, and no one can determine when that soul is going to go. So this young person who left, it might be very tragic and very sad for the family and sad for your child and you and so on. But that soul knew that's what it wanted to do in this lifetime, maybe to activate that kind of energy in the space. So the realms that it can go to are numerous. And God only knows what it will do. However, if we are part of this path that we're on with Dr. Pillai, is that we can help that soul to move to its highest state of being, such that it doesn't want to come back to the earth plane and go through the the birth and death cycle again and again and again. So there are some kind of cool YouTubes. Sadhguru is he has a YouTube on how the soul separates from the body and in the time period it does take. And so that's why with the Tarpanam, if you do a Mahatarpanam for someone or an individual Tarpanam, it takes approximately 14 to 15 days for that soul to separate from the physical, from the mental, from the emotional, from the spiritual, from the subtle body, the astral body. It's a painful process. That's when you do the Tarpanam, you're actually helping them to be out of pain. And so he gives a great description on that. I wish I had the YouTube. But you can Google it or go onto YouTube and put in Sadhguru and then Tarpanam, or where the souls go when they die. And then you'll see that YouTube. It's quite informative and educational. But just for in general, we don't know what the soul is choosing to do. And we don't know where they're going to go, but the Tarpanam will give them the means to go to the places that are better for them.
Thank you. I have been doing Tarpanam pretty regularly, felt such a clearing on so many levels. And there's been times where, kind of feel the souls that are a little bit late or a little bit resistant, and then they come through also, and they wait for me, when they want to catch the train. And then, and what I've been doing personally is calling on Archangel Michael to be a part of the facilitation process.
Hey.
And it's just been really beautiful because I don't claim to know any of it. So I just kind of turn that over. And in doing it, it feels really clear. And then I keep going back further and further.
Beautiful.
And I just wanted to check on that because I trying to do the calculations. If you think back to Egyptian times, how many generations back is that? Right. And then also on if different, including in this is all the souls that are connected through all the different lifetimes.
Absolutely.
Right? We're not just this lifetime, not just this, this body, but all the lifetimes and all the bodies. And then all of the uncles and aunts as well, who I wasn't originally doing, but they were kind of coming up, the karmic connections there. And so it's just been really a blessing to go through that. I have to say, though, my mother's father, who was Indian, Hindu, who converted to Christianity, I never met him, but I really feel like he is the one who's brought me into this path, as I was raised Christian. And I had no connection to any of this, but I feel that his soul is the one that guided me. When I had my oneness awakening, I took his picture, put it on the altar, and he has opened up this whole incredible Vedic world for me. And yeah, and so just to quickly, I have a kind of a selfish connection because I really feel his love, but I hear you saying that we don't want to hold them, so I have to let him go.
Yeah, you can just give him a high five.
But I feel like there's so much guidance that comes through that.
Yeah, the guidance can be there, but you're not pulling him to the earth plane.
Okay, I see you have to go.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Supriya. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. And for those of you who gave me a heads up that it's time for me to jump over to Dr. Pillai's proxy birthday practice call. And so I'm very happy to be sharing everything about Masi Magha with you today. And God bless you all. God bless your ancestors to bless you with prosperity, enlightenment, royalty consciousness, health, wealth, and happiness, prosperity, enlightenment in the coming days, especially with Masi Magha coming up. And be in touch and let us know how it goes. Thanks to everyone here. Thanks to Dr. Pillai, and God bless you. Namaste.